episode of the Reppin' the State Line podcast with John, George, and Josh is sponsored by the Brodo Rockstar Group at eXp Realty. The home buying process is stressful, especially when it's your first time. The Brodo Rockstar Group is committed to giving you a stress-free experience while guiding you through the process from getting approved for a loan to getting the keys on closing day. Let their team treat you like a rock star. To book an appointment or to search all available properties in the State Line area, visit buywithbroda.com.
Good afternoon, guys.
Welcome back.
Good afternoon, State Line area. How you boys doing this week?
I'm exhausted, to say the least. But
Exhausted? Why? What happened?
Well, we went to Kansas City last weekend, and it's just.
You still haven't recovered?
What do you say?
I said you still haven't recovered? 3
kids, a wife, 14 hours in windshield time in 4 days. It's just a lot. I mean, it doesn't matter if I'm with kids or not kids. It's a lot of windshield time. So, but I got some gems for you guys. So,
yes,
I went to 2 different local barbecue spots in the Kansas City area, and the first one I went to was actually in a gas station, Joe's Barbecue. Originally was Oklahoma Joe's. It was a man that came up from Oklahoma, started Oklahoma Joe's in a gas station, and it got so popular that Kansas City made him change its name to just Joe's Barbecue. So it is a legit gas station. You walk in, on the left-hand side, they sell beer for the people in line. And I mean, they sell snacks and all that good jazz. And they sell a bunch of barbecue sauce and rubs. And then pretty much the whole other rest of the place is a restaurant. You walk up to the counter, you order your food, like not even a minute later, your food's plated in front of you, and then you can sit down wherever you want to eat, inside or outside. But they do have a pump that you can pick your car up and get gas still. So that's kind of cool. It was really good. Really good kids menu, I would say. All the things you want for the kids, mac and cheese, barbecue, fries, etc. And then we went to, what's the second one? Gates. Went to Gates Barbecue in Kansas City, and they were both just phenomenal. At Joe's, I got the brisket and the sausage combo, and then at Gates I got the burnt end sandwich. And this burnt end sandwich, no joke, was about this wide, right, and about yay tall, and in the inside was just chopped up burnt ends. Phenomenal. The only thing about Gates though is it wasn't very kid friendly. There was no like kids menu. It was just get what you get, you know what I mean? Smaller menu, but holy cow, it was incredible. And I brought back some barbecue sauce and some seasonings. So we're going to have to do burgers because I got Jack Stack's seasoning, all-purpose seasoning, and it is phenomenal on burgers.
Awesome. I'm in. Let's do it.
I bought a pellet smoker / grill. I got the Pit Boss KC combo yesterday. And so I will be smoking us some burgers with Jack Stack seasoning on.
All right.
So what time is lunch?
I'm gonna go for best burger in town. That's what I'm gonna do.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we do our last sit and sip? Do your burgers with beer, burgers and beer, and we could do craft beer. So everybody pick your favorite kind of beer, and we could sample beer.
Or we could get just some local beer from around town. I mean, there's a bunch of breweries in town that have incredible craft beer.
Absolutely.
Burgers and beer, man.
I'm down.
I'm down.
So remember though, it's beer, So we're not drinking water. We're not drinking like Coors Light, Miller Lite, Genuine Draft, Bud Light. That's all water. We're doing something hearty with these burgers. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like Pig Minds. I mean, Pig Minds is a local place here.
Pig
in town.
Minds.
They
Pig
have-
Mind's Blue Collar is one of the best lagers I've ever had. I think it's a lager.
I don't know.
IPA.
I mean, what's it? Is it Bitch Slap? Is that?
Yeah, they got vanilla bitch slap.
Yep.
That's
That's good.
Which one is that? There's all these different places around here. I mean, you got me at a loss right
And
now.
then what's
But I'll-
the?
Carlisle.
There's a brewery. There's a brewery on East State,
Carlisle.
right there by City Market.
Carlisle.
Carlisle. They have a vanilla or a blueberry, something like that beer that is just to die for.
Yup. Yep. I'm down. Let's do burger and beer at Josh's. We'll go live and we will sample and judge the beers and your burgers. I like it. Sit and sip.
All right, and we'll hold off that winery sit and sip for season 2.
I like that.
Actually,
that one,
that's a
I think
great
we'll
idea.
take.
That's a winner thing.
Huh?
I think that the winery will be a great idea, but it's going to take some planning because I think we should do it the right way.
It could be a good winter thing.
Well, they have
Close in the winter.
they have fire pits, they have stuff like that. You do it in the fall. Or worst comes to worst, we do one where we pick up favorite local wines from different wineries and do one here like that around the fire pit at my place. Then we'll do different things. So it doesn't mean we have to promote a business by actually being there every time. So let's see what we can find. But
Sounds
You guys
like
have anything exciting this weekend?
so now that we've gotten like 5 minutes in, so in case you guys are listening, this is your first time ever listening and you have no clue who we are, that's Kansas City Josh. So that's Josh. I am John, and George is there at the bottom of our screen if you're watching us on YouTube with his hat turned around backwards, looking all gangster.
That's
Don't
right.
flash signs ever. Don't do that. So this is repping the state line. So if you're listening to us on a podcast right now, please subscribe and leave us a comment and share with your friends. And if you're watching this on YouTube, do the YouTubey things, like, subscribe, comment, and share. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, repping the state line. All right, I got that out of the way. So Josh was saying, what did we do this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, you know where
George.
I was. I was traveling.
What did you do, George?
Before I get into what I did, it's repping the state line for those of you. Not repping, there's no G at the end. So
I didn't say a G. It's repping the state line.
Just want to make sure that's clear. So they're not looking for somebody that's not us. What did I do this weekend? This weekend, I had my first weekend in a long time that I didn't go anywhere. I pretty much soaked up my couch and the TV, and we went out for a couple meals, but for the most part, I vegged. We did go to, speaking of barbecue, since you guys got it all talked up last week, my wife and I did go to one of your favorite places here in town, Stone Eagle, and we haven't been there in a while. They had, of course, when I walk in, the first thing it says on their sign, "Oh, our special today, corn on the cob with ribs." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" That was like built for me. They knew I was coming. So I tried the baby back ribs with the corn on the cob. The corn on the cob was amazing. The ribs were absolutely amazing. They were fall off the bone. The only thing I didn't care for was there's little pieces of bone throughout the meat that I was kind of having to pull out of my teeth as I was chewing through it. But I mean, it's phenomenal. If it wasn't for that, it would have been a perfect ribs. I mean, they were like, they melted right off the bone. It was awesome.
That is awesome. Well, I'm glad you gave them another try.
Yeah, of course.
Stone Eagle is definitely one of my favorite places. On a Tuesday night, they do half price California wines. So any of the wines that come from California, they do half price appetizers. So anything on their appetizers you get for half price. And they do what they're famous for half price. Their shovels of shrimp and their oysters. So on a nice warm day, get a really nice rosé or, a Pinot Grigio, ice cold, get, oysters, shovel of shrimp, and just pretend like you're out in the tropics somewhere, just enjoying by the beach. But for us this week, we did the same thing, George. We ran out on Friday night, went to a place we have not been to in quite a while, obviously, Cooper's Hawk. So I was telling George about this after we were done. So we went to Cooper's Hawk, me and Venice. My wife turns to me on Friday afternoon and goes, "Hey, let's go out to dinner. We'll go to Cooper's Hawk. We haven't been there for a while. I know we have a couple of bottles to pick up. We're wine club members. Cooper's Hawk is a chain restaurant winery, but they actually have a full vineyard in Northern California. They own like acres upon acres and produce all their own wine. So, and it's just that they do that and they pair it with gourmet food. And we became members of the club probably 2 years ago. So we go out, we do a wine tasting. They're like, "Oh, we got to sit you right away." I'm like, "Okay, no problems." We did like half our tasting. We went and sat down, had an unbelievable meal, bottle of wine, give them my black card. And they're like, "Okay, what do we have?" And she brings us our check. And she's like, "You don't owe anything. You had a birthday reward. You had 2 other rewards that were going to expire at the end of the month. I applied it all on here. Your couple of bottles are taken care of, and you still have 6 bottles." So we thought we had 6 total. We thought we had 6 total. Now it's not like it's free bottles because you pay for the wine club membership. You get 2 bottles a month. That's how it works. But we had 6 bottles to pick up on top of the 2 that were, well, the 1.5 that was drank there, and then came back home. So it was a free night, basically. A very good tip for our waitress. She was a lovely server. Sat outside, beautiful evening. And then Sunday we went again to the Anderson Japanese Gardens for brunch. I was 2 weeks in a row, and I was not disappointed. So,
Wow.
I mean, it is an
Fresco?
amazing fresco at the Gardens. Yeah, it's an amazing brunch. Great food. I mean, I've heard people say that they didn't have great experiences. I don't know what they did. Maybe it's a new chef, new menu, but unbelievable breakfast.
You know what we did do this last week? It wasn't over the weekend, but it was yesterday or Monday for my wife's birthday. We went to JMK. Of course, we've been down this road.
Yep.
But I do have to give, there is one chef, Mario, that's been there since the beginning. By far my favorite chef. And now I know that I need to request Mario every time. But he puts on a show for the kids. He was spectacular. He's been there since JMK was at its first location before it's
Was the first location off of Mulford
Yes.
by the old Highlander, like
Right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Yeah.
I was little when it was over there.
Yep. This chef has been there forever, and you could tell. Like he can run circles around some of the chefs there. He was phenomenal. All the tricks he was doing in the show, the jokes. It was just such a great experience. So if you ever go there, ask for Mario. That's what I've learned. I will start doing that. And what else? There was something else that I did, and I don't remember now. This past week. Oh, Friday. Last Friday, you and I, John, got to participate in an incredible golf play day. Like, holy cow, was that a fun time.
Rockford's premier golf outing run
Yes.
by the Rockford Cosmopolitan Club, which we are all members of.
Yep.
And it was an amazing time. We did pretty well. It was silly. And my wife, my last minute, Josh had this trip come up to go to Kansas City. So you missed out, Josh. And so I asked my wife, I said, "Do you want to just come play?" And I sold it to her this way. She's like, "Go play golf with you guys?" Like, really? I'm like, "Hey, there's drinks on the golf course. The sun will be shining. It's a good time. We play music. I mean, we'll work on your tan and have a few drinks. How bad could it be?" And sure enough, it was like 60 degrees and overcast. We had some drizzle happen, but she had some drinks. She had some fun.
Yeah, we did. We had a lot of fun. And we
had a lot of fun.
We met a twosome that was at the wrong course, first of all. They were in somebody else's cart that they just took, and they decided to start at 4 with us. And we were like, we just invited them in and said, "Why don't you just golf with us for?" So we had a 6-some, and I didn't realize they were supposed to be at Forest Hills and not Montefiore. Yes, they were at the wrong course. So they just grabbed a cart and joined us.
Ooh, that's funny.
Oh
That's,
my goodness. I
They
did not
were-
realize that. But that was what were their names? It was Tim and Andrew with Pyramid Injection Molding, right? Pyramid Molding Products.
Pyramid. Yeah, they were
So they were a sponsor.
amazing.
They were a
Yes.
sponsor of the golf
They were-
outing. So I mean, and just great guys to hang out with, father and son. Caught onto that about 10 holes in, that they were father and son. They were it took some liquid courage before the son started saying, "All right, Dad, let's go."
See, you guys are sitting here with beautiful weather, it sounds like. Kansas City, no joke. Dead sun, 100 plus. You couldn't go outside with your butt crack not sweating. It was hot.
Thanks for that image there, Josh. by
Yes,
the way.
thanks, Josh.
Hey,
So it was. So basically, you're saying you went outside and Chip was standing in the rain.
dude.
Chip was
My,
standing
and my
in the rain.
kids, right? My kids and my wife live for being outside in the sun. And like you literally step out and you're just like, ugh.
Well, no, it was a good day for golfing. It was good weather for golfing, and I'm very like George is not talking about the highlight though, so I'm going to say like I outdrove his brother-in-law in the last hole.
Yeah, he did.
Was it the last
Yeah, I
two
did.
hole?
Possibly the last two. I was out of the fairway definitely,
Oh yeah.
but we used
Yeah.
my ball the entire last hole. It was like my drive, my pitch up to the green, and my putt. Done.
Yeah, we finished
was
with
my hole.
-1 for the day.
We were minus
minus-
one on par at Montecito.
No,
that
no,
was my
-2, 69.
69.
Yep.
Dude, Montese's like putting on concrete.
Well, Montecito, that was my first time ever playing there, and it was
Mhm.
a little crazy with realizing that if you're not hitting it dead on in some spots, you could hit a car. And there's a lot of really nice cars running down Guilford, right by the country club.
Dude,
There's no protection. There's nothing.
hole 2 might be one of the most dangerous holes in Rockford. Not
You know
only-
what's dangerous about
not
that
only
course
is-
is driving with Kyle as your chauffeur.
You
Yes.
have the street coming up to you, but you have to go over a creek. Every lie in the fairway is like on a downward slant. And then you go to the green and you can like literally tap it, right? You know, tap a room, and it's on the street. You're lucky if you walk away with a 7 on that hole.
No, we did pretty well. We did.
We were
200 par.
we were consistently either at par or just under
Or
par
below.
most of the day. So, and it was just like it was only like, you know, we'd be 1 under, even, 1 under, even, 2 under, 1 over, you know what I mean? Just back and forth all day long. So, but it was fun. So that was fun. My wife did say she would definitely golf again at a play day. So
That's
might have a
awesome.
new partner in crime for some of these events.
That's fun. Good stuff. So, what do we got happening this coming weekend? We're now heading officially into back to school. My
School
kids start
season.
tomorrow. Today, well, my kids started on Wednesday. Tuesday night.
Hananiga started on Wednesday. This starts on
Yep.
Wednesday this week.
Yep, mine started on Wednesday. Except for he only went a half a day on Wednesday, so real full days on Thursday. But so Mason goes to like a small private school, as you guys know, and half of his baseball team and basketball team and all that are the same kids. All go to the same school, and this year somehow they all ended up in the same class.
I feel bad for that teacher.
So there's 6 of them that play baseball, basketball, hang out regularly, and they're all in the same class. So it's going to be an interesting school year, to say the least.
Yeah, this could be the year that Mason gets himself in a lot of trouble. What grade is he going into?
2nd grade. Hey, good thing I can come and go now at work. I might have to go pick them up from school.
Unreal. So yeah, mine is at the other end of the spectrum. She's starting her senior year this year. So
That's scary, isn't it?
yep. senior year. She'll be driving shortly. She finished drive right over the summer. So I think November she's eligible to get her license. So it's gonna be fun. So that's the last one.
I can
The
wait.
last one.
I can wait, man. I'm gonna enjoy my kids growing up. I know it goes quick, and I'm sure you can attest to that, John.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm just gonna try to soak in as much as I can over the next 15 to 18 years. I'm starting
awesome.
off, and you're finishing. So,
Well, it's not always a finish. Then it's the next phase. You got to keep going from there. So it's definitely a process, and you got to get used to it because it's like I say, it's like I'm way too young to have a kid that's a senior in high school. I don't know. It's like
you look way too young.
I mean, I'm only like I actually had that. We actually had that happen to us while we were golfing. The other guys we were golfing with we were talking about something, and I made a comment. He's like, well, you guys are only 30, right? You married 25 years. How is that possible? You're only 30 years old. I'm like, no, but thank you very much. So, all right. So what do we got going on this weekend, Josh?
This week here in town, there's not much going on. A couple big things. I think the biggest one though, August 17th through the 21st. I know you're hearing this on Friday, so tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday is the Winnebago County Fair. Personally, I think
where is that? Where are the fairgrounds?
It's in Pecatonica.
In fact,
There you go.
Yeah,
I know Boone County Fair was last week, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes. And now the people, it'll be a different group at the Winnebago County Fair because the fair from Boone, they packed up Sunday night, and Monday they were pulling out of there, and they head to Kane County because the Kane County Fair is going on this weekend as well, right off Randall Road.
Did you see on Facebook there's a stat that I think it was like over 220,000 people were in attendance over the week at Boone County Fair?
I did not see that, but I wouldn't be surprised. People have been cooped up for such a long time. And I did talk, though. There's a friend of mine, he does landscaping. He was telling me his wife said, we're taking the kids to the fair. And he's like, I walked in, and in 10 minutes, I spent $200. He said, in 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes flat. He spent $200. Every ride was 4 to 5 tickets. Tickets were like, a ticket was like, $5 a piece or whatever it was.
There was a
it was just crazy.
I guess I heard that was $19 for a steak sandwich at the fair.
Well, if I'm going to spend $19 for a steak sandwich, I'm going to go to the Beloit Club.
But I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued on what, and I'm sure none of us know this, but like I'm intrigued on what is the split between the fair and like the concessions and the fair people that travel around.
I don't know. I've never run a fair before, so I don't know.
I know no one else will know, but it's weird to think like okay, even like Festa, right? It was 50 cents a ticket, and it cost 12 tickets for a ride, so that's $6.
$6.
So is Festa getting 4 and the fair's getting 2, or is it vice versa? You know what I'm saying? Like,
or does Festa get or does one of these things get the food concessions, and then the ride people pay a fee to have their ride there, and they get that?
Yeah, I don't know. Does the fair own the ride, or is it the ride's individually owned?
No, the rides are owned by the carnival people that come and set up. That's individual. That's a company, and they travel all over the place. There's there used to be over in Garden Prairie was one of the places they did that, and it was like a whole group of all the machines would be there all winter, and then come a certain time of year they were all gone. And they traveled around the country, and they live in campers and just do that. That's the business. But I believe, just, and don't quote me on this, I'm just thinking when they had the Italian festival on The Sopranos, the Soprano family got like 40% for running the fair. You know what I mean? And the church got 20%, and the rest of it went to like other charities. So who knows? I don't know how it works, but I'm sure somebody's making a lot of money, or else they wouldn't be so popular doing these every year.
Intriguing business, right?
So maybe we should put on a festival right here in the state line.
Repping the State Line County Fair.
Dude, you can come up with something.
I'm good going to these other ones. That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. I mean, we made that same comment. My wife coaches gymnastics, and everybody said, "Oh, we should do a meet here in Roscoe, or Rockton, like rent out the field house and run a meet like some of the other big places they go to." And she's like, "I'd rather just pay our fee and bring our girls to Kalahari and do the meet there, or go into Chicago and do a meet there. I don't want to run a meet. I get it. It is a lot of work. We know that from just running the State Line Chamber golf play days. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work to do a small event. Imagine doing something big." So
I was talking, me and a couple colleagues are talking about running a baseball tournament out of here next summer too. So I'll report back and let you know how that goes.
Have fun. All right. One other great thing that goes on, and we've neglected this, and I apologize. So we all know City Market is every Friday night, right? Downtown Rockford, right on State Street and by Madison. It's like right there. But North End City Market goes on every Saturday. If you don't know North End City Market, that's right at the roundabout of Auburn and North Main. It goes from 8:30 to 12:30 every Saturday until the middle of October. And one thing that really intrigued me when I forgot about this was the Norwegian is right there. And the Norwegian is great. They have breakfast, they do lunch, they do cocktails, they have live music. Emily Hurd is the founder. It was her vision to bring the Norwegian to the North End and start the revitalization of that part of town. When she bought that building and started building it out, it was pretty much almost condemned. That's how bad a shape it was in. She has office suites upstairs. She has the restaurant. She has all that going on. And she's one heck of a musician as well. I don't know if you've ever seen her play around town, but she is an amazing musician. So if you get a chance, you're looking for something to do Saturday morning, you're not heading to the fair, or maybe before you head to the Winnebago County Fair, check out the North End, hit the farmers markets, all the different things going on there, and maybe grab some brunch at the Norwegian. I think that might be what I talked the wife into visiting this week.
Norwegian's good. I've had lunch there a couple of times. And I had one of their specials was a meatloaf sandwich. Whew. It was different, right? It's not your typical meatloaf that you would like bake up at home, but
right.
It was awesome.
It was so good, Josh froze.
He didn't freeze for me.
Oh,
yes, he did.
He's frozen. There he goes.
He's back now.
I would try to mess with you and say I froze with the leaves behind me blowing.
Something very interesting that's happening this weekend on August 20th, right? It's the 2022 Illinois Paranormal Conference. I don't know what that consists of.
Is that like Ghostbusters?
But I think we're going to have some paranormal stuff. I mean, I know a while back, I believe it was season 1, episode 10 of, what was the show, John? Of Paranormal?
It was Supernatural.
Supernatural.
On the
Supernatural was filmed here in town.
Well, they came to Illinois, and it was that episode was based on a fake asylum. It wasn't an asylum, but they used what was that old building? You go down Kilburn all the way down towards like State Street. There's like an old school or something that looked real condemned there. They used that building as the asylum for saying that there was a ghost story, and people thought that there was actually a haunted asylum in Rockford, Illinois after this. So, but yeah, that was the big thing. I mean, they were on the air for many years. That was like maybe 12, 15 years ago when that episode aired. So, but yeah, Rockford is known for paranormal activities, though. There's a lot of stuff that goes on from what I hear. And there's ghost tours. You go to Galena, there's ghost tours there as well. I mean, any place that has an old history has some ghost tales to tell. That's probably why these paranormal specialists come here for a convention each year. So where is that being held?
I did not catch that.
Oh. All
Oh,
right.
my
I-
neighbor's
on.
the Miracle Hunter.
Miracle Hunter?
Yeah. He goes around the country and wherever there's miracles, and he like he's on TV. Google the Miracle Hunter. That's my neighbor.
Okay.
It's pretty neat stuff. But he travels all over the world and goes on different, I don't know what you call it, but it's hunts where all the miracles have happened around the world.
That's amazing.
Tinker's Cottage.
Oh,
Museum, New York.
the Tinker Swiss Cottage.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they say that's they say that is a center of paranormal activity. It is a haunted location here in Rockford.
Yep. So girl.
Interesting.
And then wrapping up on August 20th is the Tommy Correll Memorial Foundation Ride for Suicide. I know people that put it on. I actually went to high school with Tommy. Took his life too young. But every year, Corey and Xavier Whitford, who are his parents and owners of the foundation, put on this giant Ride for Suicide. And it's over there at Kegel's. And they put on a huge motorcycle ride, and they come back and have a band and food and music and all that stuff at Kegel's. So if you're into riding motorcycles and you want to support a good cause, I'd reach out to them.
Definitely.
Sweet. So sounds like a fun weekend ahead. Back to real routine in this house with school starting up and
8
normalcy.
Baby.
You know what that means, though.
Yeah,
with that comes football. It is football season. I am excited.
Bears played on Sunday or Saturday, actually.
No, Thursday.
No, they played last Saturday.
Well, yes, and they played this coming. Well, they played yesterday.
What was the score?
I'll let you know. I'll comment on Friday when this airs.
In the comment section.
Yeah.
Hey, that the Bears field looked terrible on Saturday.
Yeah, it did. Sure.
Well, they're not putting any money into it anymore because they're moving to Arlington.
Dude, I know, but the mayor is like trying. Dude, they're gonna be hurting if the Bears actually move to Arlington, which I think is it a done deal?
I don't know. Let's talk to our Bears expert, Mr. George Puskavich. Is it a done deal? The Arlington move?
Well, no, of course not. It's not a done deal yet. They're supposed to close first quarter next year on the property. So everything's in place. They're moving along. There's a lot of stuff that has to get vetted and go through. I think personally that it's a done deal, but it's not officially going to be a done deal till next spring. And then they have to work on, construction plans, building it. They're not going to move, and it's going to be probably 2026 at the earliest, in my opinion, before you'd see them play there. And that would take getting out of their existing contract with the city. But I think 2026 is the first year that it would become fathomable, or they could stomach what they'd have to pay to break the lease. So I'm guessing that is the time when they're moving on.
32.
I don't know exactly, but those are the figures that I've been kind of hearing and told, that next spring is the latest I heard where it will close. The property will officially get closed on. Then you've got, they're not just looking to build a new stadium. They're trying to revitalize that whole area and turn it into a whole sports betting or casino and the whole bit.
They're going to be a mecca. Hotels too. That whole area is just going to
explode. Yep, for sure. So we'll see. What happened at the game on Sunday or Saturday, this past Saturday, was, a joke. Like, it just supports the reason why they should move, because the park district is so, they use Soldier Field for all these concerts, and the turf looks atrocious. And
they were comparing it to like a golf tournament and how many divots were taken out. They almost actually canceled the game because the field was not in, like, I guess there's NFL standards, and
But it met the standards barely, correct. And now the NFLPA commissioner wants to have those standards reviewed. That's a big deal. Yeah. So I agree. They're promising the Bears that they will reset completely after the Rammstein concert. That's on September 6th. That gives them, and then the first game September 11th. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. It definitely is not a good look for the city if they're trying to keep the Bears. That's for sure. In the Park District. But that's the biggest issue that the Bears have is they don't own the stadium. They lease the stadium from the city. And so they only get revenue based off of what Chicago Bears produce, not any of these concerts, nothing else. And what it's doing is hindering the Bears. So they'd rather have their own. I mean, look at I use Oakland's new stadium as an example. I don't know if you've seen it, but they have turf for certain things underneath. And then they have a full sodded grass that they roll in. And so basically it rolls out of the stadium and then they roll it in and it's full grass for the NFL. And then they have the Raiders. Have you seen the Raiders' new stadium?
Oh, Las Vegas.
Vegas Raiders, yes. Yeah, they literally roll an entire sheet of, which is in its sodded grass. They roll it onto. When I say roll, it's not like there's rolls of it. No, it's like you take the entire football field and you shift it out of the stadium, and it's covered and it's cared for, and then they could shift it back in. I saw a video of it. It's insane. Like the technology nowadays, you could do that no problem. And then with the dome, and you could do dome, non-dome, whatever you want. But having the ability to have a dome, I know that's a huge. I personally don't want a dome because it's not bear weather with the dome, but I get why they would want ones because they can have the Super Bowl there. You have so much more opportunity for revenue. So I say do retractable, and the Bears just don't play in dome, period. Keep the elements the same, and that way you get the best of both worlds. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there on the Bears front. I will definitely keep.
Could you actually go in an indoor stadium and still having to wear your bibs and coat and hat and gloves because they
would love it.
Close the top.
Would absolutely love it. That would be heaven.
Like they close it when it snows, right? And then again they open it up and make sure you're fucking cold.
And now because of that, I have to put an explicit mark on our thing. Sorry, folks.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you almost did it again. Way to go. Way to go.
I'm surprised this is the first one we've had yet.
Yeah.
I know.
Well.
16 episodes, the first F-bomb.
It happens, man.
Well, it was good to hear this little bit with the Bears. We'll say the Jets did squeak by with a win, barely, but it's preseason, so who cares?
I'm more excited. They play on Thursday in 2 days, but one day before it would have passed since it aired. I'm excited to see Fields for more than a quarter. I think he'll maybe even go full half. We'll see.
Because the coach came out last week and was like, yeah, they're going to play most of the game, or at least half, and he was only in for a quarter.
No, they said 15 plays. I got 15 plays from the sideline reporter pregame said that he was looking at 15 plays for Fields. Usually what we're used to is a 4-game preseason. Game 3 is the dress rehearsal where starters play for the first half. But now with the new 17-game schedule, they've cut the preseason to 3. So to me, the second week is the dress rehearsal. Week 3 is pretty much nobody plays, maybe a drive, but then you're basically auditioning the who's going to fill out the end of that roster. Yep. So I think that this is it. And I'm excited to see it's a 5-day turnaround. It's a quick turnaround. They played Saturday to Thursday. It's a night game. It's on the road. It's the Seahawks. Now, granted, the Seahawks don't have Russell Wilson anymore, but still, I'm excited to see how they rebound, how they play. They won last week. Their starters didn't do the greatest. I saw some really encouraging things that most people most people just look at the stats and they're like, oh, he had a QBR of 80, 79, and he had a couple good throws, but whatever, he's going to be trash. That's not what I saw. What I saw was him visually, what do they call audibling at the line, making the pre-reads. He read the defenses perfectly. Like that one throw to the right side where he hit, what's his name? The new guy that Tajay Sharp. You remember that one? Seen the replay that one, Josh?
Yeah.
So when he hit Tajay Sharp, he saw the defense. He read the defense perfectly. He audibled. He changed the assignment of the lineman, and he threw that, and it was like an unbelievable. Like he threw it only where the receiver could catch it, and the catcher the receiver made an incredible catch. Those are the things you look for from a young quarterback, that he's now progressed to the point where it's not just let's go. It's I'm seeing things, I'm making changes, making the right changes, blitz pickups, whatever it is, and making those adjustments pre-snap. Good stuff. That's the kind of stuff that I look at, and I'm excited for Thursday on a quick turnaround. How quickly he can prepare and how well he does playing longer. So we'll see. Well, anyways, enough of my Chicago Bears soapbox. Back to repping the state line. I think we covered most of what we got this week. It's a short week. It's a busy week. Busy week in terms of getting kids back to school. Summer's slowly coming to a close. And trips are done. Time to get back into routines.
I like routine.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Me too.
Well, with that, let's call it a day. And remember, everybody, if you're listening on anywhere you listen to podcasts, please subscribe to the show and share. And if you're watching us on YouTube, again, do those YouTube things and like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment. Let us know you're listening. Very happy with our progress since we started this. We have a lot of loyal followers and listeners right now. So please, thank you. We could not do this without your help. So that's all I have for this week. Gentlemen, have a great week.
You guys as well.
All right.
Deuces.
Don't forget to get out there with repping the state line.